Alright, so welcome to my channel. This is the first video of many in which I'll be discussing a whole wide array of topics such as usually philosophy, spirituality, and also this is just my opportunity to share any wisdom that I come across in my life that might be able to help someone else, and gift some insights to the world that have made me a happier and freer soul. So beautiful. So today I wanted to touch on the topic of slowing down and how important it is that we create space often to return to our innate wisdom. So, at least in my life, you might be able to relate to this. There can be this constant feeling of always doing more, always, on this sort of hamster wheel of like taking actions and feeling like it feels like we're trying to fit in like 1,000 different things, but there just isn't enough hours in the day, and we're not really sure what tasks or what activities are important and what we should be putting our time into. And it feels like at times, it's like we're just going 24/7, and we feel like we're putting our energy and attention into so many different little avenues, but we're not seeing any real momentum or real results because like our energy is just diluted over 1,000 little tasks. So your attention and your energy, it feels so diluted because you're always in this scramble to do more. But you're never really sure what the important things are to really invest your energy into. So I guess what I'd say in response to that is that you must let the dust settle. And what I mean by that is that along our path, our life path, we can sort of get into this habit of constantly moving, constantly kicking up dust, to the point where we can no longer see because the air is just full of dust, and everywhere we look, we just see right in front of us. We don't have that we don't have that far-sightedness that really informs the path that we should be taking. If we're not connected to that long-term vision, how are we going to really take the proper action in the moment to get us where we want to go? It's impossible. I would say let the dust settle. At times we are so addicted to being busy and addicted to constant stimulation that we tend to forget that beyond that, on the other side of slowing down, is actually a lot of wisdom. And we all have it. We all have this sort of genius ability to guide our own lives once we lean into that and once we listen to that. Another thing I'd say is that when you slow down, you can actually act with more intention, and your actions carry more weight. So rather than making 1,000 tiny little actions dispersed in 1,000 directions and feeling like you end up going nowhere, you can make more calculated decisions based off that innate wisdom within you, and you can put more of your energy behind fewer actions. And in this way, you're actually going to see much more tangible results. Your quick-moving, fast-pacedness can also simply just be an excuse to procrastinate whilst, feeling productive. At least in my life, it's definitely been that. And, that's your way of sort of filling up your day by just jumping from one low-priority task to another in this sort of frantic state of staying busy without ever actually taking important action that produces real results. And I understand this. It's I can empathize with that, because at times we might be putting off some of the things that feel genuinely important to us, and as a result, we want to justify that by remaining busy with all these little low priority things. But we already know what we're doing. We know that we're not. We know that we're avoiding what we need to be doing. We know that we're just keeping ourselves on this hamster wheel of being busy, because when we're busy, we feel like we can justify inaction in the parts of our lives that actually matter most. And so, yeah, what I would say is that you're probably on a hamster wheel right now, and maybe you've been on this sort of hamster wheel for a long time, and my best bet is that you've actually forgotten that at any point you can simply just get off. Take a look around, slow down for a second, and reevaluate. Maybe the answer isn't going to come from, doing one more journal exercise, or, watching that next piece of YouTube content. Maybe the answer is going to come from within. Slow down, slow down, slow down. So an analogy that I like to use is when you're in this fast-paced, sort of frantic mode, the present moment almost can feel like a tightrope with the past and the present, and the past and the future on either side. And it feels like it takes a tremendous amount of energy just to stay present, because there's these huge forces pulling you in either direction, out of your present moment and into your past or into your future, obsessing about something that happened in the past, something that you did, something you said, or obsessing about the future, trying to make all these plans, thinking about outcomes and how things are going to go. Slowing down is like turning that tightrope into a footpath where you can comfortably walk, and where looking into the past or planning into the future becomes a choice. So it's about taking back control, because right now it's like you're trying to steer this moving car, but it's going 1,000 miles an hour around a 50-kilometer bend. So, with all of that being said, how do we slow down? Well, it is a practice, and in a sense, we do have to retrain ourselves. So, here are some ways that I slow down. First off, this one's my favorite. Stare out a window. This is my favorite thing to do. Just stare out a window, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just let your thoughts drift. Another great thing that you can do is something that I've been introduced to recently called mind wandering, which is the simple act of going for a walk, bonus points in nature, without a phone or technology or a podcast or music in. And yeah, studies have shown that when you're in a state of forward movement, you actually process thoughts easier. And so yeah, if you're in nature, having a walk, just in your own thoughts, that's when you will naturally access parts of your mind that are really wise and actually know all the answers already. So the problem is that you don't know the problem is not that you don't know what you're doing or that you feel lost. Because a deeper part of you does know what it's doing, and it doesn't feel lost. The problem is that you don't allow yourself to access that part of yourself. But it's always there. Another thing, stop reaching for social media in every quiet moment just to pacify your mind. And another one, start your day off slowly. by not checking your phone for at least 10 minutes after waking up. This is a huge one. It's like if you start your day off and you just go into social media, you're just banging your head against the wall with all this stimulation, and it sets a tone for the rest of your day to be, frantic and just in this constant perpetual state of seeking. And start your day off with, honestly, this is my favorite thing. I start my day off by waking up, rolling over, and staring out my window for like a good 15 minutes. And then I'm in a peaceful place to actually tackle the day, you know what I mean? And lastly, throughout your day, don't just scramble from one task to another. Take pauses and, reflect and reevaluate and think about how to best use your time. Chances are you have a lot more time than you think. It just doesn't feel like it. So in between tasks, take a break and ask yourself, cool, what should I do now? And think about it. I could do this, or I could do that. Don't just automatically finish one task and go scramble straight onto the next one because you feel like you're wasting minutes if you think about it. Think about it. So yeah, essentially what we're doing is we're trying to come back to the world as it was when we were children. When we didn't have all these distractions, when we already knew the answers. So I just want to remind you that the answers are already inside of you. You just have to listen to that voice, and that takes slowing down. Anyway, I hope that you got some value from this video. I hope that the message resonates with you. If you're still watching, then I'm sure that you have enjoyed this video to some extent, in which case please subscribe to my channel and like the video so I can see that you've enjoyed the content. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought about it specifically, anything that you agree on or disagree on. Yeah, other than that, have a beautiful, blessed day.